So after we've let go of the conditioning, we have dismantled our persona to a certain extent, our old lifestyle. We come into a place of increased sensitivity. And that is part of this new level of consciousness, a place where we are not as defended and we are more sensitive, more psychic, more telepathic, and so on and so on. This brings with it challenges for people who are suddenly finding themselves vulnerable or sensitive to other people's energies, or unable to be in places that are stressful electromagnetically or whatever. So this is becoming very common.
Yes, absolutely. I get a lot of adults, phoning me up and saying, these issues have been coming up.
Yes.
Have you got anything?
So the Chrystal series has been designed specifically to help people who are becoming more sensitive. They're becoming more crystal, in fact, because we are moving from carbon-based beings to crystal beings. Yeah. So this series, the Chrystal, and they're called Chrystal, which is a bit silly, I suppose, but to me it's Christ-like also, the return of the Christ consciousness.
Right.
And don't mean to be religious about it, but the consciousness that brings with it an ability to transcend the natural laws. And this is what we're seeing happening with children now, as children will be able to do these things and are already able to do things that we, as a general rule, could not do.
Yes.
So in the Chrystal series, we have essences like Bubble, for instance. Now, Bubble was designed to help a child, or to help. This is to help with electromagnetic stress. And it, so it allows you or enables you to be in places like the chemical aisle in the supermarket, which are very, very stressful if you're very open energetically.
Okay. And so would someone take this or just carry it around with them, or?
Well, you can do.
I mean, if you take it once, or if you take for 2 weeks or something like that, is that the idea that you will then create a protection for yourself, or is it?
Okay. Now, the optimum is always, with any energy medicine, is not that you get into a place of daily repetition, but that the essence helps you to change your energy and to maintain that change by yourself.
Okay.
So what I recommend, one of the things I'd recommend with Bubble is that it can be used, all essences can be applied topically. So you can put some cream. A barrier cream is actually very good if you want to build up the sense of strength in the exterior. Then it's actually very good to use a cream that has a barrier element to it. I think there's a very good beeswax one that Helios have, perhaps. So you can mix the essence and the cream and then apply it to the surface of the body and encourage the child to imagine that this surface is becoming very strong, very, very strong, and so that it will not allow in energies that are harmful.
That's lovely.
Now, I feel that it's very important as we become more and more connected to the energy of our being, if you like, that there is some education for children about a child's energy body is developing just as they are. They aren't born with it fully intact. The child is part of the mother's energy system until they slowly start to disengage. And as they disengage, we need to teach them, what would you say? I don't like the notion of keeping out energy, but filtration, I think, is a good one. We need to teach them. This is what software is about. It's really like a spam filter, so that you have this energy around you that filters out energies that you don't want. And it's not about keeping out everything or separating yourself, because these children are not about separation. But there has to be, the Chrystal series provides them with a kind of buffer zone between their very sensitive beings and a world that is not quite caught up with them yet.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And what sort of age can children start with essences? What's the youngest person you've ever treated?
Well, actually, in utero, 2 of these, was it 3 of these essences were asked for telepathically by a baby. The bubble actually was asked for by a baby who was 3 months in utero and was going to have a scan. And so he asked his mother said it was the most extraordinary thing that she got this message. She got this, for her first experience of that kind of telepathy, I think, that, you get a very clear message, but it's not from you.
Right. I mean, it sounds a bit wacky to me, but I've never been a mother, so maybe it's the experience of, common amongst mothers. I don't know.
Well, I think it's becoming more common,
Right.
certainly more common. But this mother got a very clear message from her unborn baby that this baby wanted something to protect him when he went for a scan. And so bubble was made for him. And it turned out, of course, if it protects against the radiation of scans, it's also very protective in terms, if you've got to sit for a long time in front of your computer or you have to go into a place where there's a lot of electromagnetic stress. It's very
mobile phones,
perfect for that.
Like that. Yeah. Okay, and so in that situation, does the mother take the essence or rub it in?
She rubbed it on her tummy.
Yeah.